mandatory prison sentences could lead to a repeat of what happens in the USA, where they have 3 strikes laws, which are partly responsible for their obscene rates of incarceration. Nearly 1% of the American population is in prison or jail, and obviously very racially unbalanced. Now, it's not to say that there aren't many situations in which people should be sent to prison for these offences, but this blanket approach takes out any nuance whatsoever. It's very easy for the government to increase prison sentences and set mandatory minimum sentences. You can go around to the tabloids and say, oh, look, see what we're doing, we're being tough on crime. And it's much more difficult, but more important, to deliver real habilitation and diversion so that people don't reoffend and don't take up huge amounts of taxpayers' money, keeping them in prison. And I love the word that the Noble Lord German is using, which is repair. We talk about rehabilitation, but repair is a superb word to talk about some of these children, very damaged children. So will the government be adding any rehabilitation and diversion along with these mandatory sentences so that people will not offend 3 times? Or is the government just going to say job done and try to rely on the deterrent effect alone? Now, for me, the most worrying on this list of offences is the inclusion of drugs offences. We really should be moving towards a legalised and fully regulated, safe as can be, drug supply. Creating a minimum sentence of 7 years for drugs offences is a huge backwards step and will make the drug supply a lot more violent and dangerous, as people have so much more to lose if they get caught. On the previous amendment, the disclosure of cautions, it's quite interesting because today I learnt from an amazing source that the whole issue of the illegal prorogation of Parliament has been wiped from the bound Hansard records. Now, it's apparently ceased to exist as far as the bound version has been, and it strikes me that if we can delete all reference in bound Hansard to the illegal prorogation of Parliament, thanks to our esteemed Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, then surely we can be a little bit kinder to young people. And of course, the exceptional circumstances, well, we all know that if you're a water company, exceptional circumstances mean you can release a sewage discharge anytime you like. So presumably exceptional can actually be anything you want it to be, which is a little bit upsetting when it comes to the law and where words matter and should be more precise. So I would say that I'm looking forward to the Noble Lords, the Minister's explanation of all this, because I think it's rather nasty, hardline and discriminatory.